What are you doing? Why? Why are you in there? Why are you sitting in the trash can? There's nothing in there. Get out of there, girl. Come on. Come on, come on. You're purring. You're always purring. You're so funny. That paint. Don't you eat that paint. No, ma'am. What you doing over there, girl? Hi, guys. This is, I forgot my own name. Sleep Grandma here for you. Look, the day cleared up nicely, so I'm glad. So I wanted to talk to you about this subject that's been on my mind a lot. And I feel it's a good time to do it now because it's about the aftermath of suicide and the wreckage that's left to those who are still here. My nephew committed suicide 12 or 13 years ago. I don't count the years. I don't believe in counting the years because it's just too torturous for me. But I did want to say that it was as if someone threw a grenade in the middle of our family. So let me start at the beginning. It was a Sunday morning, and I was talking to my cousin from New York on the phone. I live in Georgia. So we were just having our regular whatever conversation when my sister calls and tells me that she thinks that my nephew had committed suicide. So I hung up and drove down there frantically and got there and, asked the firemen that were coming out of the building what was going on, So the guy pointed me to where everything was going on and went up there and, yes, they were in there. They wouldn't let us in. And my sister was crying and I started wailing. I mean, I made a sound that came from, I don't know where it came from. I think it came from my gut. I don't know, but it was a sound that I could not make again. It was like a wounded animal, like a wolf or something. And I just didn't even know where it was coming from. The police were looking at me funny, like, wow, what is that sound? Are you crying or what is that, It was heartbreaking. I had to call my daughters and tell them. And it was, one daughter lives in New York, so she flew in. And the other daughter she lived about 30 minutes away from my mom's house. And she came down to my mom's house, and we just kind of got together and tried to make sense of it all. I mean, the police finally sent me downstairs because he lived on the second level. And the police came out and asked us if we knew of any tattoos he had. And my sister looks at me, and I said, yes, he has a skull tattooed on his forearm that says bone. And they said, yes, it was him. So it was just like the worst thing that could ever happen to anyone. I had been emailing with him a couple of days before because that Sunday we were supposed to get together for my mom's birthday. And so he had called me that Wednesday night, which turns out to be the night that he took his life. And I didn't answer the phone because I was on my way to work. So I figured, okay, well, once I get to work, I'll email him. And I did. I did email him, and we had a little conversation back and forth, and he told me he would see me Sunday, and that, I said, well, we were talking about something. I said, well, we'll talk about it when I see you on Sunday at Mom's, birthday luncheon or whatever. I told him which restaurant and whatever. And I just don't understand why I guess I do understand why he didn't reach out to me, because I guess he didn't want me to stop him because he knows I would. But damn, to leave me living in this pain is just, ugh. I mean, I don't want to sound selfish. I don't know how much pain he was in, okay? I understand that. But at the same time, believe me, it is no walk in the park for the people that are left behind. Because we will forever know if we could have made a difference. Now, mind you, everybody has their own little hell going on sometimes. I mean, I know I had a lot of really rough times, and there was times when I thought about taking my own life, but I just never did, because I'll tell you one particular time when I was, when my girls were like 2 and 3, I think they were. We had just come back to the U.S. from Mexico. I lived in Mexico for a while, but I was born in Ohio. And I was told constantly that I wasn't a good enough mother, so I thought, well, maybe my kids would be better without me in their life, Maybe I should just do away with myself, and, my kids will be better off. But I didn't do it because I thought, look, you brought these kids into this world, so you're going to have to see them through, baby girl. You're going to have to bite the big one, because what if this guy gets married to, what if their dad gets married to some evil stepmom, and they, I didn't want that. I didn't want that for them. It's not their fault I screwed up. So, I went ahead and stayed. I mean, I'm glad I stayed, but I'm just telling you, if you're contemplating suicide, please know that you'd leave a lot of wreckage behind. I mean, it's just horrible, horrible for all of us. So subsequently, the people that didn't like my nephew, they were just laughing, and they were just having a wonderful time. They were smiling and saying, I'm hungry, and this and that, because they were glad the guy was gone. I mean, he was a wonderful guy, but they were very jealous of him, so they were glad he was gone. And I saw that I couldn't say anything because, I just didn't want to make things worse, to tell you the truth. And he was already gone, so what am I going to do? I mean, what am I going to say? For what? It wouldn't bring him back. So no, I didn't say anything. And, I was listening to that song, Starry, Starry Night, because that's a song we played a lot after he took his life, and it says, they won't listen, they did not know how. And perhaps they'll listen now, but I've really found that it's they're not listening. They're not listening still. Perhaps they never will. And that's true. Nothing much has changed since he took his life, as far as family stuff goes, It's just, it's a shame that he didn't know how important he was. But so we went to the funeral, and so we went back to my mom's house, and my mom was real, like, I don't know, she was just like indifferent to it. She was talking about an doctor's appointment she had the next day, and I got mad at her because I said, well, who cares about your doctor's appointment? Samson's gone, Look, lady, don't you get it? But I don't know. I mean, I know she had Alzheimer's was developing, so I'm just going to go ahead and chalk it up to that, because I don't want to say, I don't know. I do tend to judge people. Well, we all do, don't we? Anyway, so when I came to her house, a week later, I think, she had all his pictures down. She had taken all his pictures down, and I was just furious with her. I started yelling at her and telling her, you're acting like you didn't exist. I mean, I guess there's just a lot of private moments there. I don't know what is this? So anyway, we had the funeral, and almost all my friends came. I mean, people that I'll never forget that they were at my nephew's funeral, like Dina Medrano, Martha Herrera, Debbie Cook, um, Granny, Harriet, Marvin Jones III, Angel Shea, Nicole Pope. I mean, just all these people that really showed out for my nephew. And, my sister really appreciated that. She said that when she saw that people came to see her son, that to stopped whatever they were doing in their life, right? And took time out to be there for us because we needed them. She was really grateful for that. And, I think Angel flew in from San Francisco and stuff. And it was just, God, it's just so appreciated. You know what I mean? God, that's when we really need somebody. I know nobody likes to go to funerals. I know that. But you don't go to funerals for the dead person per se. You go to funerals for the people that are surviving, that have to go on. And they need you to lean on. So anyway, so we survived that. But let me tell you something. I swear I felt like I had a hot iron on my left shoulder, like on my left part of my chest for like 2 years. It was just horrible, after they took his body away. And I'll never forget when they rolled his body out from the apartment and he was covered up with the black tarp. And for years, I could just hear, just randomly, I would hear the way those wheels hit that pavement, outside. I can still hear it a little bit. It's faded over time, thank God. But it was really hard. It's funny the things that stick with you. But I loved my nephew dearly, and he did leave a suicide note, something about he might have been bipolar, whatever. I mean, there's medication for that, okay? He had been selling a real nice car he had about a month before that, and I asked him, I said, why are you selling your car? And he said, oh, I just need the money right now. I'm tired of it. I want to get something else. And so I guess you could call that a red flag. I don't know. It was a very difficult time for me. I was getting a divorce after 26 years of marriage. I was drinking heavily. Yes, I was. And it was just a bad time, man. All the times were bad, to tell you the truth. My life before, all the times were bad. I'm not going to play. So you practically have to scream in my face to tell me that something was wrong. The Christmas before that, he committed suicide on June the 1st. So the Christmas before that, I gave everyone a little photo album of family pictures. And when I handed him his photo album, I noticed that he set it aside. And I was like, wow, that's a weird thing to do. I'm giving you a photo album instead of looking at it and, saying, hey, thanks, it's a lovely gift. You just set it aside. What does that mean? Did he think that, I think that he thought that since I had 2 daughters that I adored, I think he thought I didn't need him. And I did. I really did need him. God, I counted on him. So much so that, what I realized later on after he died, that I don't have one picture of me with him. I don't. Because I always assumed he would be there. I always assumed that I could take that picture tomorrow. I mean, he was younger than I was, obviously. I mean, I'm supposed to die first. You can't die first. I mean, what's up with that? So yeah, I never took a picture with him, and I didn't realize that until later. And that's a shame. I truly love that boy so much. I took time, one time when he was kind of getting into a teeny bit of a maybe gang activity, I thought. In his early teens, I took him to Inglewood Cemetery, picked him up, took him to Inglewood Cemetery for a walk. And we talked for a long time, and it was just wonderful. And I just thought he was not the, like some people you think, okay, well, this person's not the kind of person that would do that. I don't have to worry about them. They're too level-headed or whatever. No, he definitely did. He took it there, man. He took it there. I'm not going to tell you how he did it because it doesn't matter. I'm not going to show you what he looks like because it doesn't matter. He was 28 years old. 28 seems to be some kind of trigger for a lot of people. I don't know if it's because they haven't achieved what they thought they should achieve by 28, but please keep an eye on your children at 28 because, yeah, I don't know what how it seems the number 28, 27 seems to be not a good number for, I guess a lot of self-doubt comes in, But you know what? I just wish I could have let him know how important he was in our family. God, my daughter got married in August. When my nephew had told me that he wasn't going to go to his cousin's wedding, I was like, why? And he's like, I just don't want to go, And I said, well, you represent the family. Why wouldn't you go? And I said, we really want to have you there. You're one of the mainstays in our family. And he was like, I don't want to go. And I said, okay, fine. I'm trying to respect his right to do what he wants to do, right? And yeah, he wasn't going to go because he wasn't going to be here. I had no idea. No idea, I don't want to even speculate, what was going on. I thought of, after he died, I thought of, kind of trying to, because, a lot of times young people keep secrets in their life. So I was going to try to find out what was going on with him, who he was hanging out with, whatever. But what for? What for? It wasn't going to bring him back. If I had thought it would bring him back, I would have. But it wasn't going to bring him back, so I didn't do it. But we went through a lot of pain. The first couple of years, we would get together every June the 1st and sit around and listen to the music he was listening to when he died and just cry all day long. We did that for about 2 years, and that would be on June the 1st. And then his birthday was in January, so every January we would do the same thing. Sit around missing him and cry all day long. So I told my sister, I said, look, I can't do this. I can't keep this up because it's going to kill me. I can't. As soon as I start to recuperate and be able to be a little bit stable, it's his birthday. Then I get a little bit stable, it's the anniversary of his passing, and I just can't do it anymore. So I told her I'm going to come over and we're going to do a celebration of life thing. That was kind of like when that celebration of life thing started coming into style. And I said what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come over. We'll go to lunch and try to enjoy the day. Just go. What we ended up doing was going to San Pedro, which is one of his favorite places to go, San Pedro in California. Going to the dock there and just kind of enjoying the day there. And yeah, it was very painful. I know I don't sound like I'm in a lot of pain, but let me tell you something, man. You know what? Grief is the weirdest thing. It is the weirdest thing. It's very, very tricky because after he passed away, we couldn't enter his apartment. So a couple of days later, well, we weren't let into his apartment, but a couple of days later, we asked the manager if she could let us in, and we sat in his apartment, and my daughters and I, and who was he? There was somebody else there. I think it was, my granddaughter, the oldest granddaughter. We went into his apartment. We were sitting in his living room just laughing about stuff that he did and just laughing and talking because we were just doing the best we could to handle the situation, man. We were just doing the best we could to handle it. I mean, but see, anybody walking by would have said, my God, is that the guy's family? I mean, they're laughing? Are you kidding me? But man, we were just doing the best we could to hang in there. That's all we could do. And I feel personally responsible for him as his aunt. I feel personally responsible for him because I should have been watching him closer. I should have been doing that. I was too busy wrapped up in my head, wrapped up in my situation. It seemed like we always had a hard time anyway. Boy, this is not too much to my liking, but okay. It was just very, very troubling times. Now, I didn't have anybody. My daughter had her boyfriend. My other daughter had her fiance, and I had no one to comfort me. So, I sought comfort, and it was kind of out of character for me, but I was just doing the best I could to survive. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. I believe in his suicide letter, he didn't mention me at all. So I guess he thought that, well, she has her kids, she'll be okay. She has her kids. She doesn't need me. But I did need him. I did. And my little granddaughter, they have a picture of him. He has of him when she was 3 years old. She's hugging him, and she needs him too. We just needed him, there's a big hole in our family because of him, and he can never be replaced. Never. Did we go on with our lives? Well, yeah. Did we have a choice? Well, no. I mean, what am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I tell you what, as soon as it happened, I asked the people when I got in the elevator, I said, do you know what the tallest building is around here? Because I want to jump off. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to feel that tremendous pain. I did not. Oh, my God. And then we had to go like weeks later to have him cremated and see them push him into the oven. Oh, my God, it was just awful. It was awful. So if you're contemplating suicide, please hang in there. Please know that the pain you feel is probably not as bad as the pain you're going to leave behind. I don't know. I know that we get tunnel vision when we're depressed. I know I do. I get tunnel vision. And you know what? Soon after that happened, I contemplated suicide, and then about a week later, I took my goddaughter out for lunch and a movie like we usually did. And I said, oh my God, I didn't even think about this kid. Oh my gosh, I think she would have been devastated. But she didn't cross my mind. Why? Because I was in so much pain that I didn't even think about her. So please know that, I know with the holidays coming up, they say there's a lot of suicides and a lot of people get depressed, but you know what? It's just another day, man. It's just another day. And if you're alone on Christmas, so what? It's just another day. I think people put too much. I think people put too much on birthdays, put too much on holidays. I don't. My birthday was last Sunday, and I already had plans to go with a friend to the movie, so we went. When I got there, we were sitting there talking. I told her, oh, yeah, by the way, today's my birthday. She's like, oh, my gosh, I would have bought you a gift. And I said, yeah. Oh, my gosh, that's why I didn't tell you, because I knew you would be bothered, and I appreciate it, but it's not necessary. And I just don't believe I'm putting so much buildup on stuff, Too much buildup. Too much, oh, my gosh, it has to be huge or I'm a failure. I don't believe in doing stuff like that. So, please know that you're important in a lot of people's lives. I had this friend named Richard that I used to work with, and we went to his house for parties, and he was a great grandson. He was fabulous to his grandmother. He was fabulous to his mother. He used to ride a bike. He built a fish pond in his backyard. He was just a great guy, very, very popular at work. So one day I was dancing in the kitchen with my granddaughter. I had my granddaughter over. I always had my granddaughter over. But I was in the kitchen, and my friend from work called me crying, and she said that he had committed suicide, that he had hung himself in his garage. And I said, "What? Why? Why?" And she said because he had gotten into some trouble, and he had threatened several times to commit suicide, and no one believed him, and he just finally did it. And I just couldn't believe it. I mean, he was really close to his brother, and it was just horrible. It was horrible. And oh my gosh, they didn't even let us go to the funeral because I guess they were ashamed or something. I don't know. But I guess all the families are just doing the best they can. But God, we never even got to say goodbye. And he was such a lovely guy, I cried. I couldn't cry to my husband because he would have made fun out of me. I mean, that's the kind of marriage I had, You just couldn't open myself up because it was just another weapon to hold against me. But, yeah, so, man, it was just a big loss for all of us. So please, please wait it out. I mean, eat your favorite meal, go lay down, take a nap, watch your favorite comedy, do anything you have to do not to take your own life, man. Talk to someone, reach out to someone. People are willing to listen, but you do have to kind of shake them a bit because, people got their own stuff going on. And it's not that they don't care about you, it's just that people are busy and people are stupid. I don't know if you realize that, but people are stupid. I know I am. So please, wake me up, shake me by the shoulders, let me know, hey, I need some help over here. Can I talk to you for a minute? Can I meet you for coffee? I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. Can I treat you to dinner? I mean, whatever. I don't know. If you don't have money, can we just sit and talk in the park? I mean, it's all good. I mean, I would have helped him any way that I could. When my daughter came down from New York, my sister and I put together the funeral, and it came out very nicely. I couldn't speak at his funeral. I could not speak at his funeral because I couldn't talk. And I just didn't feel like I had the words to express all the love that I had for him, so I just didn't say anything. The day after he committed suicide, that day and the day after, I couldn't eat anything. I was physically ill, physically ill. It was just the worst of the worst. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And I have a couple of worst enemies that I wouldn't wish that on. But, yeah, it says they're not listening still. Perhaps they never will. And that's so true. I don't know if he took his own life because of things that were going on or people's attitudes towards him, but it definitely wasn't worth it because those people have not changed and they're still alive. So that's so unfortunate. But like the song Vincent by Don McLean says, I could have told you, Samson, that this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. And that is absolutely true. I mean, I think about him every single day, and that's why I really don't celebrate or commemorate too much his passing, because I think about him every single day. There's not a day goes by that I don't think of him, probably at least 3 or 4 times a day. And I don't do it purposely. It's just that he's part of me, He's a little kid that, you know, grew up with my kids, and he's just part of us. And I guess he didn't know that. I guess he thought we were fine without him. And especially his cousin, you know, got married. She was like a sister to him, and maybe he thought she didn't need him anymore. I don't know. But that's not her fault. That's his fault. I mean, he should have... I mean, life changes, guys. Life changes. People get married. People, you know, do different things. I mean, no one's expected to stay still. No, we can't keep life still. Time goes on, so... But I tell you what, when... So that happened in June. So in August, Jamie, his cousin, my daughter, got married. And I think it was August the 11th. But he was there at the wedding. Because as soon as she got married, out of nowhere, there was this big gust of wind. And we just knew it was him. We just knew that... that was him there at the wedding. So, I mean, he will always be part of our life. You know, I forgot to mention Lynn and Doug, my dear Lynn and Doug, and my Riza and my Sylvia, Alexa, were there at the funeral too. They're just friends that really are always there for me. We don't see each other that often, but yeah, I mean, they're just like family. They're not even friends or family, you know. My Dina, I love my Dina. And I love my Nicole too. I mean, I just love these people. But I'm just saying that life does change a lot. And, you know, a lot of things are just, we have to learn to go with the waves. You know, like when the wave comes, you kind of roll with the wave, or you dive under it, or ride on top of it. I mean, that's the way life is. It is doable, man. But we gotta ask for help when we need it. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs help sometime. You know? Everybody. And if people tell you they don't need help, they're lying. If people have told you that they've never needed help, they're lying. Everybody needs help sometime. Look at that. That's tacky and shiny, but I'm loving it. So yeah, it was... I feel like I got a lot of signs from him after his passing. One of them, I heard a voice in my head kept telling me to take care of my sister, so I did. I stuck by her, and you know, we all... you know, came around her, my daughters and I, and we tried our best to be there for her. And we're all closer as a result of it. Now this picture right here, I just can't see because of the glare. I saw this in a gift shop in San Luis Obispo about a couple of months after he passed away, and I thought that was very telling. So I know I said I wasn't going to show you my boy because it didn't matter, but I'm proud of him. So here he is when he was a little babe. There's my Sam, my Samson, little bubblehead. And here's he is when he was a man. Look at that handsome guy. Handsome, big brown eyes. Nice looking guy, big, tall, and muscular. I don't know, I remember complimenting him on his shirt. And I light a candle to his picture. Look at those eyes. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And not just outside, but inside too. So, oh boy, you know, this is a really hard video to do. I'm glad I got through it. I was thinking about it a lot. I was trying to make sure I hit every point I wanted to make. I just want to thank once more the people that were there for us at the funeral, that took the time out, because it really, really meant a lot. God, you don't even have no idea. My sister said that when she She talks about it to this day. She said when she got up after the funeral and turned around and saw all those people there for her son, oh my God, she said she just was so touched. And God, you never know. I can never repay you for being there. Okay. So I hope this made a difference for somebody. God, please, you're very loved. You have no idea. Okay, guys, much love. Hey guys, I just wanted to add to this video that I truly have to ask for an apology. I have to apologize to my daughters for not being much of a mother in the days after their cousin's suicide, because I was just in such horrible pain that I forgot that they were too. And that was a very selfish thing for me to do. So I'm really sorry, girls, that I was just like out of it and angry and lashing out at everybody. And just, for me, unfortunately, when I get in a lot of pain, I start lashing out. It's my go-to of protection, but that's no excuse. I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you then. I was incapable, and I'm sorry for that.